Okay, hi, we're here with Kathy, a current member of the program, and I just wanted to interview her about her experience. So, Kathy, thank you for joining us and for doing this with me. Can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Um, so I live in Texas. It's one of the many places that I've lived, but I seem to have settled here for the longest. Um, I have a lot of different things that go on in my life. I'm very active professionally and personally. I'm an author and a speaker, and I also work in corporate America and business. There's a lot of balancing that goes on in my life, a lot of integration and balancing.
Okay, great. Yes, you've been a busy woman. Yes. All right, so could you tell people who are listening how you were at the start of the program that we're in together?
Sure. I think in the beginning, for me, it was about I've always had a good handle on, um, I've always had a good handle, I think, on what was blocking me. It was like, I tend to be pretty self aware, but I didn't have really good mechanisms for doing something about it. So it's one thing to know why we're not doing it, it's another thing to know how to start doing what you need to do. And so I think when we first started working together, I was pretty aware of some of the things that were blocking me. I just didn't really have a good technology to actually move past it.
Okay, great. And how do you feel you might have changed now?
Oh, it's so much. I mean, our Saturday sessions really were the catalyst for me because I found on our Saturday sessions we do these short sprints. We do these 20-minute sprints, and we declare what we're going to do, and it was so energizing to me. The first few Saturdays that I participated, the energy that I got just claiming one thing and then doing that one thing, and I realized that's it. That's the technology to incorporate. And so I've done that, and I've learned to just identify more at the task level what needs to be done and getting it done. So I'm just thrilled with how much more productive I am.
So by technology, do you mean the community or
Well, I think
um,
it's the methodology. I use the word technology. It's just the methodology that we apply to do something. And so every time we get together, I hear about somebody else's approach to things, somebody else's how they break it down, how they get it down. That's a technology to me. Technology to me is how we do something, not what we do, but how we do it. And so sometimes they can be doing something completely different than what I'm doing. The way they're doing it is a way I could use for what I'm doing, if that makes sense.
it makes total sense? And I feel like that's some of the beauty of the program and the community.
I do too, because you just the insight of how they're getting things done is wonderful. I love the give and take.
The give and take is the best. It's great. It's great for me too. I learn every weekend. Um, can you remember what was the first step that you took that was different because you were inside the program? One thing that you might not have tried or that might not have worked if you were on your own.
Well, just the sprints, the Saturday morning sprints were so helpful to me. Um, I think sometimes we want to begin the way we mean to go on, right? And so these sprints being early for me anyway. They're different for different time zones, but for my time zone, it's early for Saturday morning. It sets the whole tone of my weekend. So my whole weekend ends up being productive, but I don't mean in a work way. I mean in a set my intention and follow through with it. And so that's been really helpful. But I incorporated that sprint into my daily activities. And so I now do sprints every day. And so a lot of the pesky things that kept getting put off, like changing the light bulbs, I mean, silly stuff, right? Things that we just don't even think about. But are really important because those things we tolerate end up affecting us and how we function overall. So every day I have something that is my sprint for the day, and you feel so good at the end of it.
Okay, great. You're answering all the questions ahead of time because I was going to ask you kind of how you feel, and it's great to see. I mean, it's for me as a host of the program, I feel like it's so enlivening and enriching for me to watch everyone make their personal changes in the way they need to. Everyone's so different in the program too, as we just noticed in this morning's call, that everyone has their own road to travel, but that I think things get easier when we feel like we're not alone, and when we have a place to come to discuss what might be tripping us up in any given week. So thank you for being part of the community. You're an essential, wonderful member. For those of you who are watching, every time Kathi talks, I start typing because I record quotes from Kathi because she's brilliant and lovely and so generous with her sharing with the other community members too. So thank you, Kathi, for everything and for joining me today.
My privilege. Thank you.
Okay, great. That's it. We'll see you next interview.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, Kathi.